ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्न वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतो पंगो मौ मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदर मोहनौ दिव्य वृंदारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालिभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारंभे वंशी वटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणु स्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So I would like to start today's discussion or hearing, glorification and hearing. Bhagavatam is spoken in the form of Kirtanam and Shravanam. Kirtan is done by Shukdev Goswami and Shravanam is done by Parikshit Maharaj. So I am very happy to inform all my friends and well-wishers and loving devotees that today morning myself and my wife, we both completed complete recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the 18,000 verses. So by the as we are repeatedly saying, Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. So by paying respect obeisances to Naranarayana Rishi, who is permanently situated at Badrikashram, and also the companion of Bhagavatam, Srila Vyasadeva, and the goddess of learning, Saraswati Mata, by their mercy, by their blessings, and we got the victory in completing the Srimad Bhagavatam. All the 18,000 verses are recited, and also translations are also recited with great satisfaction, realization, blessings by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada also, and blessings of our spiritual master, and many characters, they became very dear to our heart content. That is actually, as discussed, is the first step. If we want to really get an exchange of loving relations, we should see that the opposite the character in front of you should become very dear to you. When you develop a desire, when you develop an attraction for the character or the personality, then a link is established. Suppose if you want to develop a love with Krishna, first of all, there should be the Krishna's character or his personality should become attractive to you. The moment you feel attracted, then the relation is established, link is established, then the exchange takes place. So we are fortunate to be blessed by that. And whatever few realizations we got during this time, I would like to today I would like to share with you, so that you also get inspired. Dvadashyam ekadashyam va शृण्वन् आयुष्यवान् भवेत् पठन् अश्नन् प्रयतः भूतो भवति पातकात्. So it is mentioned at one point during the conclusion that any person who is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam either on Ekadashi or on Dvadashi. Dvadashyam ekadashyam va. So it means either Ekadashi or Dvadashi. When you hear Shunvan Ayushyavan Bhava. So the person who hears Bhagavatam, especially on Ekadashi or Dvadashi, they will become long living persons. So if you want to really stay long and serve Krishna, so try to hear Bhagavatam, spend time on Bhagavatam on Ekadashi or Dvadashi. It is stated in Bhagavatam itself. And Patat Yashnan Prayataha. But if somebody is studying Bhagavatam with fasting, that is Patan Ashnan, Patan Anashnan. Anashnan means not eating. Anashnan. Ashnan means eating. Anashnan means not eating. Patat Anashnan Prayataha. Prayataha means with all seriousness. So when you are doing this on Ekadashi, so automatically you are fasting. So Patat Anashnan Prayataha Puto Bhavati Pataka, then he will be freed from all sinful reactions. So if somebody can take up Srimad Bhagavatam, a special study day on Ekadashi, maybe 1 or 2 hours in the morning itself or 1 or 2 hours in the evening, and with fasting, so 2 benefits will immediately come as per the statement of Sutta Goswami at the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, that Shunvan Ayushyavan Bhaved, then he will become a long living person. And also Puto Bhavati Pataka, and he will be freed from all sinful activities. And also we relished by hearing that Pushkare Madhurayam cha Dvaravatyam Yatatmavan Uposhya Samhita Metam Patitva Muchyate Bhayat. If somebody wants to be freed from fear, for any reason, if somebody is having some fear, so they said that if Srimad Bhagavatam is read, keeping fasting at Pushkara Tirtha or Mathura or Dwaraka. So if these 3 places, if somebody is reading with all attentiveness, Muchyate Bhayat, Patitva Muchyate Bhayat, and the person will be freed from fear. This is also a very interesting. And another beautiful, amazing thing is Devata Munaya Siddha Pitaro Manavo Nrupa Yachanti Kaman Grunataha Shunvato Yasya Kirtanat. This is another one. So here we are seeing Devatas, Munis, Siddha Purusha, Pitara, Manavo, and Nrupa, and the kings. So here we see 6 types of great personalities. These are all not ordinary persons, these are great personalities. One is Devatas, there are 33 crores of 33 crore Devata hum kehte hain. So Devata, Munaya, there are so many Munis, those who are great personalities, they live eternally. And also Siddha Purusha, there are Siddha Purushas. And Pitaro, our ancestors, the Pitru Devatas, and Manavo, all the Manus. For example, at this point of time, our Manvantara is ruled by Vaivasvata Manu, and also the previous Manus and who are coming earlier, Nrupa and the kings. Yachanti Kaman Grunataha. So the person who is reciting Bhagavatam, who is doing Kirtana, and all these great personalities bestow all the desirable things to the person. So simply he is taking very seriously Srimad Bhagavatam and reading. And Yachanti Kaman. So all these 6 people, Devatas, Munis, and the Siddha Purushas, Pitru Devatas, and the all Manus, and Nrupa, the kings, they all bestow whatever the person would desire, they will bestow. So by Srimad Bhagavatam, we are anyway going to get the Panchama Purushada Krishna of the love of Godhead Krishna, and over and above, all these people are becoming so much pleased, and they bestow. So here the Panchama Purushada is also coming, and also Chaturvida Purushada are coming. That is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So because whether demigods or Rupas or Pitrudevatas, Manus, they can give only Dharma, Artha, Kama, and the Moksha and the Panchama Purushada is given by the Krishna himself. So Krishna would ensure the Moksha, and that is Moksha and Prema, and remaining part is taken care by grace. So this is a very wonderful realizations which I wanted to share with you. And of course, as you take up the Bhagavatam study, Bhagavatam hearing, so I said that let's start from the every Ekadashi, spend at least 2 hours of Bhagavatam. That would be very great, and it is recommended in the Bhagavatam itself. By keeping fast, reading is the best process to be living long and also to be freed from sins. So with this brief introduction about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, which we relished in the morning, and we'd like to go into today's stories. Today also we'll discuss, we'll hear and relish, and nicely 4 stories. The first story is the story of great pleasure, great auspiciousness, and this is story of great auspiciousness to the whole world, and this is story of marriage of Krishna and Rukmini. That is Rukmini Kalyan, Krishna Rukmini Kalyan. So always the Kalyanam is seen as an auspicious event in any family, especially they got actually as far as the Krishna is concerned, it is mentioned as Nitya Kalyanam Pachatoranam. Means always we see Krishna in all temples like Balaji temple, and they perform Krishna's marriage, that is Balaji's marriage with Padmavati. Every day, hundreds of people sit and they see that the marriage is performed. So always the marriage of the Lord with the consort is a very, very auspicious. So we are going to hear and narrate the marriage, how Krishna's marriage took place with Rukmini. So generally the consort name is put first, and the Lord's name is put second. For the Sita Rama Kalyana, so the Sita comes first. So similarly Rukmini Krishna Kalyanam, so Rukmini comes first. Padmavati Balaji Kalyanam. So always the internal potency name come first. The Lakshmi Narayana. So always internal potency come first. Krishna want its internal potency to be first taken name followed by his name. So that is Krishna's special blessing to the internal potency. So we will call now today's story as Rukmini Krishna, the marriage of Rukmini Krishna. So we have one of the devotees who is also interested in serving Bhaktivedanta College. His name is Rukmini Govinda. So I always call him Rukmini. So he also must be watching this. He is also very nice boy and highly educated and eager to serve serve Bhaktivedanta College of Vedic Education, and our spiritual master also blessed him to be engaged in preaching, and I'm sure he'll be doing his required things. So now the story goes, we have heard how Krishna very tactfully ensured the killing of Yavana. So the Kala Yavana, so actually Kala Yavana came with the 3 crores, or the army of 3 crores. Yavana is essentially a person who doesn't follow the Vedic principle, is Yavana. So this Yavana came with Yavana's army, 3 crores army, and Krishna did not fight at the time. And he somehow diverted him and finally took him into the cave, and he ensured the killing of Yavana, Kala Yavana, by simply watching by the eyes, the power of eyes, by Muchukunda. And Krishna also gave a perfect audience to the Muchukunda, a great devotee. The Muchukunda was is originally from the Ikshwaku Vamshiya. He has come Ikshwaku Vamsha, and after taking permission from Krishna, the Muchukunda came out. Muchukunda came out and suddenly saw, when he entered into the cave before sleeping, long back in the Treta Yuga, because he belongs to Ikshwaku Vamsha. So he went into cave in the Treta Yuga, and at that time the trees and everything was very, very tall, but by the time he came, is almost coming to the end of Dwapara Yuga, means Kali Yuga is coming. Then he saw that everything is very short. The trees are short, the animals are short, people are very short. He said, oh, something Kali Yuga has come. So then he said, let him go and they meditate, as suggested to Krishna. So he went to Gandhamadana Parvata and started doing tapasya by keeping Lord Krishna, who has given darshan in the cave. So whatever Krishna's murti was there, the super beautiful, blissful form, he kept in the heart and started doing tapasya. When the Kala Yavana, when the Muchukunda went like that, and Krishna came out, and now Kala Yavana is dead. So he came out to the army of Kala Yavana, and Kala Yavana's army was completely confused. What is happening? Where he went? Where their leader went? And suddenly they saw Krishna appeared there, and there is no leader. They also understood that their leader is dead. And the moment the leader is dead, definitely army becomes very, very weak, almost half dead. So Krishna and Krishna and Balaram fought with them and killed, annihilated all the 3 crores of the 3 crores army is completely smashed within no time. And there are lot of they are having good ornaments, everything, and Krishna arranged to collect all those ornaments and the also the whatever the ayudha they are having. So he got them onto innumerable bullock carts, and he wanted to shift them to Dwaraka. So that is used to be the practice whenever a war is fought, and after winning the war, the winner used to collect various, because at that time also the kings or the masters, they used to come nicely decorated their body. They used to come with gold and golden mukut and many things. So after killing them, they used to collect all the valuables. So Krishna also got it collected, and he wanted to shift everything to Dwaraka. But while doing that, suddenly he saw the Jarasandha came. Jarasandha came for 18th time with the 23 Akshohinis attack. So then Krishna and Balaram thought, okay, this is not the right time to do this activity, and already they saw that the entire place is filled with all the dead bodies. So there is no time to really get again back to fighting war with again 23 Akshohinis. Then immediately they saw face to face, and immediately started running out. The Jarasandha could not imagine what these 2 brothers are doing, because whenever they used to see the army, they used to come on the 2 chariots, and these people, there are no chariots and they are running out. Then, I think they are now become fearful after fighting with 17 times. Now they lost their strength and energy, so let me chase them. So Jarasandha with his army started chasing Krishna and Balaram, running so swiftly, and Jarasandha was chasing them with the chariot, And finally Krishna Balaram, they ran and finally climbed a very, very tall hill. Parvata is called Pravarshana Parvata. It's called Pravarshana Parvata. A special Parvata was the Pravarshanam. So Pravarshanam is there on that because it was so tall, so always the clouds used to get accumulated on that. It's like hill station. Actually it is a hill only, but it is so big. It's so big, one cannot imagine where it starts and where it ends, on the top also, on the width also. So Krishna Balaram just rushed, climbed so swiftly, and all the army just came, surrounded. They just surrounded the entire Pravarshana Parvata, and the hill was so tall that as Krishna Balaram climbed onto the top, they are almost unseen. They did not know where they have gone, because over a period after that they is completely covered by the clouds. And why it is called Pravarshana? Because always there used to be raining, always rain, Pravarshana. So when they climbed, Jarasandha thought that these people went and there is no way that Krishna Balaram they come down. Then he tried to put the entire hill on the fire. So for some reason there was a lull in the rain. Suddenly they has put the fire everywhere, and the entire hill was engulfed with fire. The fire actually went onto the hill. It appeared that entire hill is on fire. And then Jarasandha concluded that Krishna and Balaram are no more. There can't be any chance that they will survive. But Krishna Balaram, they jumped from that Pravarshana the other side, amazingly. So as per Srimad Bhagavatam, so it's almost 90 miles height. 90 miles height. They jumped and went away. Actually, it is very, very surprising. And they jumped and went to Dwaraka, because all people anyway they are at Dwaraka. Only Krishna Balaram are there, and Mathura is now empty, and they went away. Why Krishna and Balaram did not attempt for the 18th time? So Krishna knows very well now the time is approaching for his marriage, and Rukmini is about to be married to somebody else, and she wanted Krishna as husband. So if he is engaged in this fighting, so time gets delayed. He said, okay, no problem, this fellow can be handled later. So now time for a great enjoyment and spiritual bliss. So in Krishna, and also giving some happiness, so-called happiness to the opponent. Today Krishna ran away and I am the winner. So he wants sometimes gives that type of happiness also. False happiness. So Jarasandha got finally false happiness, that we see I have won finally. And he says at one point when Krishna meets, you actually ran away from me, so I don't want to fight with you, because I have already won. So he wants to give that type of feeling even to the demons. So the Bhagavatam says that Krishna took the decision of between the marriage and the fighting. So Krishna chose marriage. So they went to Dwaraka. So the story goes like that. Vidarbha is our where we are staying, this Maharashtra. Vidarbha is one of that place. So there was a king for that Vidarbha kingdom by name Bhishmaka. So Bhishmaka was having a very beautiful daughter. Her name is Rukmini. And Bhishmaka was also having 4 sons. Their name is Rukmi is the elder, and remaining sons are there. And to the Bhishmaka is a Punyavan, is a basically very, very pious person. So because of his nature, many saintly persons used to visit. Saintly person used to visit to Bhishmaka's palace, and whenever they used to come, they used to glorify Lord Krishna. So Rukmini heard many times that there is a beautiful personal who is the son of Vasudeva, very beautiful and very attractive, very powerful, etc. So finally, after hearing many times, Rukmini mentally decided that if at all she would marry only Krishna. So that is the message she also got. Similarly, Krishna also got the message that Vidarbha Rajatanaya Rukmini is also very beautiful. He came to know many times that her intelligence, her body symptoms, or the beauty, or the character, and all the sadgunas. So Krishna also felt that, oh, she is the right wife. So he also went. But always between hero and heroine, one comes villain automatically. So here the Bhishmaka's elder son, Rukmi, is the villain. He opposed this marriage because he did not like Krishna, and he said that let my sister is given to my friend Shishupal. So that was his plan. And being the elder of the family, everybody started hearing his word and nobody could object. Even Bhishmaka also said, okay, he is my elder son, so how can I deny his? So he was also not feeling so good, but he cannot even cannot deny his elder brother's very strong proposal. And he was very adamant. Rukmi was very adamant that the daughter should be given to Shishupal. So finally everybody considered, okay, let it be so. And definitely at that time there was no saying by the girl. So whatever the father or the brothers decide is going to be the final. So Rukmini came to know that her marriage is fixed with Shishupal. So, and everybody wanted that Shishupal is not the right character, right personality, but nobody could really stop it. And Rukmini took a initiative that unless she makes a petition to Krishna, how he will come to know? She has to make. So here comes the prayatna. So our effort, our desire, our goal should be there, and effort should be on. Her goal is very clear that she wants to get married with Krishna, and she made attempt. And then the path starts. So we can see from Rukmini also, she did not go, okay, if that is Krishna's wish, he will come and marry. She did not feel it. So, say generally people say that, oh, if God willing, he will do. So that is not the real devotional path. Devotional path is that you should be very clear what you want, and you should be moving towards that, and God will attract you, God will push you towards that goal. This is a pure devotional service. So she made an attempt, and with all sincerity, she requested one very confidential Brahmana, very confidential, very humble, very sattvic Brahmana, and gave one message, and requested, please go immediately and deliver this message to my loving Krishna. So the Brahmana quickly, as swiftly as possible, he went to Dwaraka, and Dwaraka for Brahmanas there is no objection. He straight away went to Krishna, and the moment Lord Krishna saw the Brahmana, he invited him, he gave him good reception, gave him comfort, everything, and he worshipped, because he is Brahmana Deva, he considers Brahmanas as his God. So after doing everything, then he asked, okay, my dear Brahman, tell me. Then Krishna asked, my dear Brahmana, what was the purpose? Krishna knows very well, but he wants to maintain that protocol, everything. So he asked, my dear Brahmana, what was the reason why you came all the way without taking any rest? Then he narrated, Brahmana narrated the whole thing, and then he said, okay, I have brought the message. Then Krishna said, okay, read out. So anybody would say, okay, this is very secret, so let me only read. So Krishna did not say that. So the relation, the talks of a devotee to his Supreme Lord is very open letter. So the Brahmana himself read the heart of Rukmini to Krishna. And she said that the attractive feature, the attractive qualities of yours. Rukmini is saying the attractive qualities of yours when they enter into the heart through the ears, and also when they come to know, when also your beautiful form and the beauty of your form enters into the heart. Actually, that beauty, if somebody is aspiring to have darshan, then everybody gets completely attached towards you. So that is my situation. That is my situation, and I want you as my husband, and I don't want the Shishupala to come and touch me. And I want, actually, when the lion comes, if the lion's share should not be touched by a jackal. So I want you to come and really take. And if at all I would have done any pious activities, any austerities or yajna, dana, tapa, and if I have really worshipped brahmanas or devatas, I want you to be my husband, and you should come and catch my, take my hand, and I don't want the Shishupala to come and touch me. And you may, I can give you an advice that you come, because there is no time for any discussion. You can come and take me away in the Rakshasa Vidhi. You can marry me in Rakshasa Vidhi. Rakshasa Vidhi means coming and taking out by force. That is Rakshasa. That's called Rakshasa. Means Rakshasa don't come and discuss. They come and put force and take it out. So you come and marry me in Rakshasa Vidhi. Gandharva Vidhi is basically exchanging garlands. Exchanging garlands and Gandharva Vidhi. Rakshasa Vidhi means taking out, snatching from the marriage hall or marriage place. And she also, because she is a girl from a Kshatriya family, and she said that you may think that if you are to come and take me away as in the Rakshasa Vidhi, you may have to kill of my relatives. You need not worry that. You need not worry that. There is a ritual in our process, in our family tradition, that I have to come out from my palace. I have to go to a nearby temple. When I come there, there will be only limited number of people. You can, at that time, you can catch me and take off. So she has given. In case you fail to come, be assured that I am going to die. She also just finally, in case I don't get your mercy, I will do tapasya and leave my body. And finally. And the Brahmana very nicely, with all, as if the Rukmini is speaking out with all urgency, the Brahmana read it with all emotion. And after reading also, he added, hey Yaduvar, this secret message I have brought for you. So please analyze this with seriousness and do your best, and whatever to be done. So he has added from his side also. Means he is also in favor of his princess getting married with Krishna. Then Krishna immediately caught hold of Brahmanas and said, yes, I am going to come, and I will see that she is taken away, and I will marry her. So this is my assurance. So you please give this assurance to your princess. And then he immediately called for a swift, a chariot which can move swift, and he took Brahmana also on that, and both they started, and they reached by early morning to Vidarbha. So here the Bhishmaka, because even the Rukmini mentioned, within 2 days the marriage is going to be arranged. See that you come, because time is very short. So Krishna reached, Krishna with Brahmana reached, and by that time the Bhishmaka, Raja Bhishma, has arranged for the marriage ceremony, beautifully, and the entire Vidarbha was nicely decorated, and they were very externally, of course he was feeling not so good, but he has arranged everything, and he arranged for Devi Devata pujas, and Brahmanas were chanting the mantras and Swasti Vachanas, everything. And meanwhile, Rukmini was also nicely given the bridal decoration, lot of nice everything. Beautifully she is decorated, and she wore the marriage ceremonial dress and tilak, everything. And meanwhile, Bhishmaka also received the Bharat, the people, the Shishupala and all his entire the boy side, the groom side, all people arrived already to the Vidarbha, and the Bhishmaka arranged for a very elaborate and very luxurious guest houses. So everybody got, and along with to support Shishupala, all his friends also they came. So in that the Jarasandha was there, Dantavakra was there, Viduratha, and all such people along with their armies they came, because Shishupala invited everybody, and they also came with a determination. In case Krishna comes and makes some mischief, we all will support Shishupala. We all will support Shishupala and ensure that his marriage is perfectly done. So they are also mentally determined, and Rukmini's determination is she wants to get married with Krishna. So all the even the Shishupala's father also arranged all the wonderful all the whatever things to be done in such a way so that nothing goes wrong and auspiciousness come. And meanwhile, this information came to know to Balram that Krishna went suddenly to Vidarbha, and he came to know that there is a marriage. Then he anticipated some problem. So immediately he took with a big army in support of Krishna. And he went and in support he went to Vidarbha kingdom. And here Rukmini got ready, and she was worried because there is no information from the Brahmana who went, and he started feeling so many negative thoughts coming, whether this Brahmana has gone or not, whether he has reached or not. After reaching also, whether Krishna accepted it or not. If he has not accepted, what would be the case? So a lot of negative thoughts were continuously going, and started feeling that probably Vidhata is not in my favor. It seems that Lord Shiva or his wife Girija, it appears they are also not very supporting me. Like that, she was having a lot of negative thoughts. But suddenly, for a few seconds later, she started seeing a good omen. Then her left eye started shaking, and also the left hand also started lagging, and she felt, oh, something may happen positive. As she was thinking, she saw in front of her the Brahmana. So when she saw Brahmana, she became very happy. Asked, is it okay, everything? Is it positive? He said, yes, everything is positive. Krishna has already come. Yes. Not that Krishna is going to come. Everything is positive. Krishna has already come. Oh, when Rukmini heard that Krishna already come, oh, she felt so much confident that she became so happy. It was just like nectar is pouring into her ears, and she started feeling, and she felt so much obliged. She must become so much grateful to the Brahmana that, oh my God, he has done everything in the shortest period, and she has nothing, because she felt that whatever she can give, that falls short of what the great help done by the Brahmana. So she humbly, with all heart and soul, just folded both hands and offered obeisance. So that is that this is the best I can offer. And meanwhile, Bhishmaka came to know that Krishna came in the early morning, and Balram also came. So he immediately arranged. So he felt that they have come basically to see the marriage. So he also felt, and he arranged another nice guest house for for both of them, thinking that they are also guests, but they are not guests. Actually, they have come for to create a big thing. So, but he felt that they have come for a guest. So he arranged a nice guest house. And when Krishna, when he came, then all the people, when the Vidarbha people came to that, oh, Lord Krishna came. So they became very, very anxious, and they wanted to see him. And Krishna was moving there because they saw that entire Vidarbha, when people started looking at Krishna, they all felt that actually this Lord Krishna is the right candidate for our princess. They felt like that. From heart, everybody felt that. And he said that if at all, whatever punya they would have done, they said that we'll give all our punya. Let our king's daughter, our princess, get married to this. So we are donating, or we are actually sacrificing all the punya. Let our punya, let her marry. So that was the feeling. This is the positiveness which they developed. And as per the Vamshachara, Kulachara, Rukmini has to go for the Ambika Alaya, the goddess Durga, and she went inside, she offered prayers, and again she prayed, again same thing to the Ambika, that let Krishna become my husband. And she worshipped Ambika along with her sons. And in that way, and she came outside after the prayers, and she was holding hand of her assistants, and all the kings were there, just standing there, and the first time, because any prince will be inside, especially the bride, in the bridal dress. Actually, when a girl is decorated, she is not accessible. But here the tradition is different. She went outside, so all the kings and princes who came to see marriage, etc., they could see how beautiful the Rukmini is. So everybody got stunned. Everybody got attracted towards her beauty, and her ankle bells was so much sweet. They are very sweet. They are hearing. They are feeling very comfort, and all are looking at her, but she is looking for her lover Krishna. She was looking, and suddenly her eyes exactly fell on Krishna. She is seeing for the first time, but she knows, because she already in her heart what is Krishna's form is there. So when the moment eyes are connected, the Krishna immediately jumped and caught hold of her and pulled and gotten onto the chariot. So swift. And everybody, by the time they understood, already Krishna's chariot is running out. Everybody said, Jarasandha, Shishupala, all, what's happened? So already the chariot was moving so fast, and suddenly people, they tried to stop it, but Balrama immediately came to he acted as a firewall, so nobody could really make it. But still, all the people tried to chase. They became so closer, and Rukmini became so much fearful. Oh, this Krishna is alone, and these people are coming so much. But Krishna said, "Don't worry." He just said, "Don't worry," and he immediately started pouring the arrows from his chariot, and also meanwhile Balram also joined there, and they all finally both brothers and the army of Yadavas defeated all these people. They all went away. And Shishupala also felt, okay, no, he felt very much ashamed, but Jarasandha consoled him, don't worry, at this point of time, the Vidhi, providence is not favoring you, so better we retrieve. So they all retracted back and they went. And they also tried to console themselves with some philosophy, and finally they all returned back. But when everybody went away, But one person did not accept defeat. He is Rukmini's elder brother Rukmi, because he was strongly opposing the marriage. So when everything, whole plan was completely spoiled, he became too much angry. He said, I will go alone and see that he is defeated and is killed, and I'll bring Rukmini back. And if I don't defeat and kill him, I will not come to the Vidarbha at all. So in that way, Rukmini made a big, strong statement, and he went on a fast-moving chariot. And when he was chasing, Krishna immediately with his arrows broken his bow, he has killed the horses, killed the chariot driver, and also when all they are destroyed, immediately the Rukmini jumped with his sword to attack on Krishna. Then Krishna also attacked with his sword, and he did broke his sword and immediately caught hold of him and tied him with a rope, with his cloth, with his uttariya. He has tied him, and he turned sure. No, actually, in fact, he was about to kill. In fact, he was about to kill him. But at that time, Rukmini immediately jumped towards Krishna. Oh, my dear Lord, he is my brother, and this is marriage time, and how can you kill my elder brother? So she was praying so much. She prayed so much that Krishna finally, okay, so because of her I am just living. He said to Rukmini, but he insulted him heavily. So by removing his mustaches half and chanchuring half his hair, he made him completely insulted. The insult is equal to a king. Insulting is equal to death. So meanwhile Balram came. So he saw very, very awkward situation, and he knows that the reason for the whole episode is Rukmi, and there is no problem with Krishna, but he wants to just give some comfort for some comfort Rukmini, and supported. He tried to little bit chastise Krishna. He said that, oh no, my dear Krishna, really we should not insult, especially relatives or these people, and that too in the marriage time, you insulting a relative is not so good. So it is in this way he wanted to really console Rukmini. And also he has given some sort of philosophical statements to Rukmini also, so that she also doesn't feel whatever insult is done to her brother. In this way, they left, and Krishna took anyway onto the chariot, and Balram and the army, they returned to Dwaraka. And here, insulted by Krishna, the Rukmini became more. He said that I will not enter into the Vidarbha, and he stayed back a place. He has created a place that's called Bhojakataka. He said that one day I will see that I will defeat Krishna. Until then I will not enter. So still he was continuing. He thought of defeating Krishna. So he stayed back at a place called Bhojakataka. And when Krishna entered into Dwaraka, so the first marriage, of course, Balram got married, which we discussed in one of the stories. He married to a daughter of Kakudmi, that is Revati. So when elder brother's marriage is over, then we see the younger brother Krishna's marriage took place. So all entire Dwaraka became so happy that the Krishna and Balaram, already Balaram is married, now they all looking for Krishna's marriage. And when they saw that it's so beautiful, Rukmini entered, everybody became. And it has become that it is the marriage of their own own family. So entire Dwaraka was beautifully decorated, and many kings came to witness, and kings and their daughters also came, and many people. Entire kingdom was so beautifully arranged and decorated, and people started moving and talking about the wonderful thing everybody is walking because they saw first time. Because this is the marriage, great marriage of Krishna. So all are invited and they are seeing great things are happening. And many dramas and music were arranged on account of marriage. And in that all musical concert dramas, only one thing was sung, that how Krishna stole Rukmini. That's it. The entire discussion and the musical story is only how Krishna. When everybody was singing musical dance, a concert, all the kings were stunned. Oh, so glorious! And all the princes, they became so much attracted to Krishna's power. So in that way, everybody becomes so happy, and the marriage took place in a most gorgeous way, and everybody felt now Lakshmi and Narayana, they are together, and entire Dwarakavasi, they become very, very happy. And by this marriage of Jagannath, actually Krishna is Jagannath, so by the marriage of Jagannath, the entire universe is filled with auspiciousness. So this comes to an end of the first story. So Rukmini Dwarakadhish ki. So in this way, the great story of Rukmini Krishna took place, and Shukadeva Goswami was happily glorifying and enjoying this.